Today, we're diving into something, well, it's a really quiet but powerful force. We're calling it the echo of emptiness. It's all about how our social experiences, way back when we were kids, can literally follow us into adulthood. Shaping how we connect with the world and even how we see ourselves. So, let's get right into it. You know that feeling? Being in a room full of people, but you might as well not be there? It's that strange sense of being on the outside, just looking in. You're there, but you're also kind of invisible. Well, that feeling? That's right at the heart of what we're talking about today, social neglect. And to really get it, we've got to go back, way back to the beginning.
Okay, so this whole story, it doesn't just pop up out of nowhere when we're adults. No, it starts way earlier, back in childhood. And it often begins with these tiny little moments that, believe it or not, end up carrying a ton of weight later on.
So let's paint a picture here. Imagine a kid, and all they want to do is go to a birthday party, or maybe just run around at the park with their friends. Normal kid stuff, right? The kind of thing that's super important for growing up. But every time they ask, the answer is just no. They're just told to stay home. And so that whole world of friendship, of just playing and being a kid, it's all happening somewhere else, and they're not part of it.
And what's wild is that this feeling of isolation, it can even pop up at a big family get-together. I mean, that's supposed to be a safe space, right? But for this child, it's just another room where they feel totally out of place. They're sitting on the sidelines, and it's not always because they're just shy. A lot of the time, it's because they've literally never been taught how to connect, how to jump into the conversation.
Now this right here, this is the crucial turning point. This is where everything changes. Because what starts as something happening outside of them, being kept home, feeling left out, it starts to seep inward. It slowly becomes this deep internal belief. Their outer world literally starts to write the script for their inner world. And here's what that looks like. That internal shift, it's huge. Suddenly, it's not just about what's happening to them anymore. It becomes about who they are. The child starts to take all that loneliness and turn it inward. They start thinking, well, if nobody wants to be around me, then the problem has to be me, right? Something must be wrong with me. It really comes down to a lack of practice. It's social learning, right? We learn how to make friends and connect with people by actually doing it. It's like learning to ride a bike. You can't learn just by watching. So if you never get that chance, you learn a totally different and really damaging lesson. You learn, I'm just not worthy of having friends. And that belief, it just crushes your self-esteem and makes that feeling of being invisible even stronger. All right, so what happens when this kid grows up? How does all of that childhood stuff translate into being an adult? Well, the thing is, those feelings, they don't just magically disappear. Not at all. They create this echo, an echo that follows you around and shows up everywhere, in your friendships, your job, even in how you feel about yourself deep down. I mean, look at this. You can draw a straight line from one to the other. On one side, you have the childhood cause, being kept away from friends, always feeling unseen. And on the other side, the adult effect. Now you're avoiding parties, you find it incredibly hard to trust that people actually like you and want you around. The pattern just keeps on playing out. So what does this actually feel like in day-to-day life? Well, it often looks a little something like this. You're in a group, and you just kind of retreat into yourself. You don't know what to say or how to join in. Trying to make new friends feels impossible, like climbing a mountain. And underneath all of that, there's this constant, nagging fear that you just don't belong. And that little voice in your head keeps whispering that you're probably not good enough for them anyway.
So if there's one thing to really take away from all of this, it's this. That feeling of loneliness that a child experiences, it doesn't just stay in the past. It becomes a kind of blueprint for their adult life. The memory of being the one left out turns into this powerful, ongoing force that can shape your self-worth and your ability to really trust people and relationships for years and years.
And that really leaves us with a big question to think about, doesn't it? It's not just about this one specific thing, social neglect. It's about all the little echoes from our past and how they come together to make us who we are today. Because understanding those echoes, really listening to them, that's the very first step to changing the story we tell ourselves, and maybe, just maybe, changing how we connect with the whole world.